Hello and welcome to My Digital Quill. We're on chapter 3 now in our Excel module on formatting techniques, and we'll be working with tables and themes in this section. When you're trying to work with data in large lists, such as we see in this given sheet here, it's going to be easier to view the information if you convert the data to a table. And of course, the other important reasons include data handling, ease of doing sorting and filtering, and in general formatting aspects of converting data to a table, which is exactly what we'll be looking at in today's video. Before we begin, make sure that the data you have has no empty rows or columns within it. Excel usually figures this out anyway, but if you go into data and press Ctrl A to select the whole sheet, and then go by pressing Ctrl period 2 or 3 times, takes us to the very last row to analyze that this is in one continuous chunk. We can convert this into a table by pressing Ctrl T or L, or in the Home tab we have an option called Format as Table. Either that, or we can go in Insert Table and convert this to a table now. So 4 different ways to get into it. As soon as you click any of these, Excel figures out the extent of the list. Give this a quick look and press OK. Immediately, your eyes will go to the table styles displayed in the Table Design tab. But more important perhaps is just looking at the data and see how every other banded row automatically kicks in. And as we scroll down, notice how row 1 has become the heading instead of column letters. That's a nice feature too. On those table styles, as you slide over, we have 61 different choices. You can pick what suits you and come back to the data. If the active cell is within a table, there's a list of options over to the left. Maybe you prefer banded column over banded rows. Or if you want, you can try both of these together, but that would look weird. Banded rows is much more common, and we can also give emphasis to first column or last column. Often this means making text bold or making those columns darker. There's another aspect of working in this table. Say for example, if I'm working outside the table and we press in column K, look what happens. Same thing in rows. If I go down, pressing Control down, and press in row 317, this becomes part of the table. So the table concept emphasizes the idea that the data within the table is treated as a single entity or a unit. And then of course Excel gives you this option to create a table of your own styles. If you come inside the table and go in Table Design tab, under Table Styles there's an option called New Table Styles here. If I come in it and go in first row stripes, let's say for example if I want to have this made as yellow and a second row stripe, for example green. If I press OK now, nothing shows. But at the very top, there's my custom style table right there. So this is an example of how you might create your own. The main idea though is when you're working on a table like this, you always got your headings on top. It's easier to navigate through the data as you have banded rows or columns here. And as we saw earlier, you can give emphasis to first and last column. So as easily as this is achieved, this improves the readability of the data you're working with.